Good morning, viewer. Welcome to our Glory Globe TV. Yes, breaking news and most amazing news too for you. He has been depicted as a fearsome commander leading a private army of deadlocked, necked warriors on foot and horseback, armed with cannons to the battlefield. But Anup Giri Gosai was also an ascetic, a man devoted to Hindu god Shiva, or a Naga sadhu, one of the revered holy men of India. This naked, smeared ascetics with matted hair from a prominent sect and are often seen at the Kumbh Mela, the world's largest religious festival. Gosai was a warrior ascetic according to the William R. Pinch, author of Warrior Ascetics and Indian Empires. To be sure, the Nagas had a fearsome and unruly reputation. The obvious difference is that the 18th century Nagas were extremely well armed and disciplined and were said to be excellent cavalry and infantry troops. Mr. Pinch, a historian at Wesleyan University, told to the reporter. James Skinner, an officer of the East India Company, commissioned a portrait of a Naga soldier in the early 19th century. It portrays a man barefoot and clothed only a leather belt that supports his sabre and pouches filled with gunpowder, ammunition and flint. His hair, thick and matted, is intricately wound around his head, resembling a protective helmet. Grasping a long-barreled musket with his left hand, he displays a vermilion tilak, an emblematic symbol on his forehead. The Nagas had a good reputation as shock troops and in hand-to-hand closer quarter combat. Under Anup Giri, they developed into a full-fledged infantry and cavalry army that could compete with the best. Mr. Pinch said, in the late 70s, Anup Giri and his brother Umrao Giri commanded more than 20,000 men. By the late 18th century, the number of ascetic soldiers carrying cannon and rockets increased dramatically. Author and historian William has described Anup Giri as a fearsome Naga commander who was given the Mughal title Himmat Bahadur, of great of courage. In the Anarchy, a history of the East India Company and how it came to wild domain over India, Mr. Dalrymple writes about the army of Mirza Najaf Khan, a Mughal commander, being joined by a different class of soldiers, the deadlocked Nagas of Anup Giri Gosai, who arrived with 6,000 of his necked warriors and 40 cannon. There is also a reference of Anup Giri's services. A force of 10,000 Gosai, generic term for ascetic, on horse and foot, as well as 5 cannon, numerous bullock carts full of supplies, tents, and 12 lakhs rupees, almost 16 million in 2019 in money. A shadow figure, Anup Giri has been described as possibly the most successful military entrepreneur or mercenary of the late 18th century. It is an appropriate appellation. Nearly all private armies hired by kings were mercenaries in those days. A native speaking of Anup Giri said he was like a man who is crossing a river, kept afloat in 2 boats, ready to abandon the one that was sinking. Noted Thomas Brooke, a judge in the city of Banaras, now called Varanasi. Not surprisingly, the charismatic warrior ascetic was omnipresent. Anup Giri was ubiquitous because he was the kind of person everyone needed. He was reviled because he was the kind of person everyone hated needing. He was the inside operator people turned to when they wanted troops on earth to the ground. A deft negotiator on a dirty job done quietly, writes Mr. Pinch. BN Das report, Glory Globe TV, Delhi, India.